Oh man, that was the bad juju coffee. So for the second part of this grinder central build, we're going to, it's a super simple rack. I've got a lip. We have a lip left over from this table base, and we're just going to take a piece of this bed rail and affixate it into that position so that we can take our grinders and put them yonder. That's super simple. So the other thing that we're going to do is we're going to construct a rack or a board, a storage area for the attachments that go onto the angle grinder. So I'm going to want this to be 4 discs wide and 3 discs tall, and we're going to build the frame again out of just this scrap, these bed rails, and then we're going to put a piece of pegboard over the top of that, and then we can use these attachments so that we can stack up and easily organize our sanding discs, our flapper wheels, our cutoff wheels, our grinding wheels, and then also have a spot where we can store prominently for our convenience the hex wrench that you need to change all of these. So I'm going to mark out a couple of just general areas where I'm going to want to do. I want to remove this paint off of here. This one's going to be a little bit fun just because I cannot quite get the right angle that I want to get down in there. So I may have to long wire it maybe. I don't need much in there. I just got to get about a 1/2 inch or 1 inch tack in there. All right, let's give her a shot. Right, we're changing our mind on this. We're going to, we're just going to weld the length of that. It has absolutely nothing to do with structural need. It's just, we're trying to get arc shots. We're experimenting, working on another video that we're talking nothing but trying to capture arc shots on different types of processes. So that's really the whole reason we're doing this. So if you look up in the history of pretty welds, probably not going to find that one, although you can see here towards the end it started to lay down a little bit better. You can see where my heat affected zone widened up here. It started out real narrow down here, and then as we gradually built more and more heat into this, we opened that up. Let's go up. I don't have much more I can go. See if we can get a little bit hotter. All right, we're going to go the opposite direction. We're not going to weld into a corner here or into an end. We're going to try to take it up this way. We'll see if that does us any better. Put a little tack weld there. Man, I really hope I didn't get my fat head in that shot. Stinking like a stinking thing. You can see where we started out cold. Finally got some heat dumped into her. All right, we got our pegboard cut out and found some scrap angle. So what we're going to do is we're going to cope that corner, and then we will be able to figure out exactly what the angle is that we need to get this board to sit at, and then we can cut the back pieces to support it, and then we're done. It's just that easy, right? So what I'm planning on doing here is struggling to get this pin out of my pocket. We're going to cut on that end. We're going to do the same thing down here on this end. And then once we make that cut, then our second cut is going to be in about like that. And then it'll fit in there just super nice like that. And we can weld it. I mean, that's the theory anyways. Okay, something we learned. Got to account for the kerf of the blade. Notice how we're out about the thickness of the blade. So the next time we mark that line, we're going to cut on the very inside of it. Because it's always easier to take more out than it is to put something back in. So we'll dress that up so that it's square and true. Then we'll just grind the excess off of that. Living and learning. All right, now I've got the lean back angle figured out. So we're going to take these little triangles out here and these little areas out here, and that is going to give us the appropriate angle for our pegboard. All right, I've got one of my corners squared up. This would be a great time to kick the tripod stand. This would actually be a great time to have a set of those clamps inside and outside clamps from is that Fireball Tools. They've got some sweet looking stuff. So maybe if we can make some dinero, we might be doing something like that. But instead, we're just gonna get a cup of coffee real quick. Cold coffee with the grounds in the bottom, that's great. All right, we're going with the infamous J8 again because that seems to be the only reading that comes very close to what I'm doing. All right, it's final mock-up time before we decide to weld this thing all together. It's not too bad. It's going to consolidate a bunch of things that I have in different parts of the shop. I already have a spot picked out where I can put that. It's right close to a power supply. I'll tell you what's going on. These clamps are holding these brackets in place. And I'll show you what we're doing in the back. You can see I've notched this out right here so we can weld that in there, and then this continues up. We'll weld that to the side of this frame. There's one on the other side as well. That way that's going to be supported. Then if I need to, I could always put something down here just to use that to a little spot to keep clamps or something like that. Yeah, I think we're gonna do fine there. So here we are. It's the end of the day, and you can see I've gotten my supports shortened. I've got them into the area that I want them into, and we're gonna get those tacked quickly, welded quickly, because it's been a long day today, and we're gonna try to at least get that frame put together, and then we'll just finish it tomorrow. My feeder's not feeding right. Makes me not the happy. I got big loops. Let's change grounds. Man, I don't like that at all. Wonder if it didn't like the humidity change. It's a brand new roll of wire. Two more welds. That's all I have. That one went okay. Yeah, there's something going on in the feed. In the feeder area. Alright, well, we got our two done. We're gonna call it a day. I hope you found this episode educational or entertaining, or maybe even both. You might want to check this one out as well. Be sure to hit the subscribe button, hit the little bell to be notified when new videos drop, and if you got comments, make sure you put them down beneath the sermon notes. Thanks for hanging out with us here at the RATTLECAN Fab Shop. Y'all have a good one. Cheers.